Hey everyone, we got an amazing episode today. We're going to be home curing bacon from scratch, home making bagels from scratch, super crispy. We're going to make the best breakfast sandwich you've ever had in your life. So let's jump in. We have a 5-pound pork belly here. I'm cutting in half and adding my cure. Frog powder number one is not to be confused with regular salt. As a safety precaution, make sure it's stored separately. We're then putting our bellies that are rubbed with our cure in the Ziploc bags into the fridge. Quick shot here, you can see the difference between 2 and 5 days. We're looking for all that juice on the bottom. We also double bag in the fridge simply because I've had it spill out of one bag and you'll not only lose your cure, but your fridge will be a mess. After day 5, we're taken out of the fridge. We are rinsing off our cure, and then we are smoking at around 200 degrees Fahrenheit. You can go as high as 250, be totally fine. Also, my opinion on variety of wood, I found no matter what I've tried, it all seems to taste like bacon and I don't notice a difference. So you can experiment with different varieties, but I don't find any difference. So I like to put my bellies in the oven at 250 Fahrenheit for about an hour until the inside reaches 150. That's crucial because that's when they're fully cooked. The best part, the slicing. So a couple of quick things. The slicer I bought solely for this purpose because it's really hard to cut bacon consistently with a knife and your arm will get tired. Also, I put the bellies in the fridge overnight before I slice them. It helps harden up the fat. Look at this beautiful bounty we got, about 4 pounds worth. And of course, wouldn't be complete without a little frying bacon. So, very good score, $32. You can't get that in the store for that price, and I guarantee you the quality will dwarf anything you can buy at the market. Our last step is to take them out of the hot pan, put them on some paper towels, and get as much of that hot grease off as possible. Moving right into our bagel. So we start with our sponge, which is essentially a way to get our fermentation jump started. It's the first time I made bagels in probably a decade. I'd probably skip the step the next time to see how it works. Our sponge looks pretty good. You can see we wanted to have a bunch of little holes in the top. That was what the directions said. We do. So we're now adding our sponge into our mixer and then adding all those other ingredients as well. It's close to 7 cups of flour total. It's a lot. Okay, first tip, don't add all the flour at once. The recipe did say add it slowly, and I am seeing why. So I'm gonna oh my God. I think we're just gonna have to kind of let it go and, what? Oh, shit. So after this debacle, I took out the dough and I just started to knead as much as I could to try to get it in one piece before putting back into the mixer, then taking out yet again to do our final knead before we are finally ready to start measuring out our bagels, which are about 138 grams a piece. Again, the recipe is for 12 bagels total. So you'll see here, poking a hole in the middle with your thumb. Pretty simple. We cover with plastic. And then I decided for a few of these, I had these little dowels to put in just to see if the hole in the middle would be bigger. In the end, it didn't really make much of a difference, but I like to try and experiment the first time I do things. So we have our final rise here after an hour. You can see the bagels have expanded. They look great. So we are ready to go on to our next step, which is putting the bagels in boiling water with a tablespoon of baking soda. They're each gonna go in for a minute total, getting flipped 30 seconds in. And then I put them onto a wire rack very briefly, and then onto a cornmeal lined baking sheet, because that's how they're supposed to be cooked into the oven. So we're gonna just rinse and repeat until these are all done. Looking good. And you can see if you look closely, the bagels are a little craggly. That's what we want. That's what the boiling baking soda water does. And we egg wash, we cover in salt, and we are ready to bake, my friends. So these go in at 450 for about 16 minutes. This batch is going to be my everything batch. Trader Joe's everything seasoning is by far the best one I've found. So if you have an option, go with that. And here we have our beautifully cooked bagels. They're super crunchy, really good. And now on to our egg and cheese part of our bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. So just scrambling some eggs. Getting the bagels prepped, I will put them on aluminum foil and then put cheese on them when they're hot because that helps melt the cheese ahead of time. Oh crap, just threw a piece of cheese on the floor. And yes, I am using 2 different kinds of American cheese. Into a nonstick skillet, you want to melt some butter, and once that becomes foamy, we're going to add our eggs. This is essentially low and slow. We're going to slowly move the eggs around until they're completely cooked. And they'll turn into kind of curds. They'll be nice and thick, but not runny at all. Adding a little more cheese, because why not? folding in half, and then I'm gonna cut into 3 pieces, essentially bagel size, so we can put these right onto our bagels that are ready. So we want to dress our bagels as well. I like mine with ketchup, hot sauce, and pepper. Do what works for you. We're just finishing up our last 2 sandwiches here. And an important part, might seem obvious, is we want to close these and wrap them in foil and kind of let everything steam. It's going to help everything get melted and nicely coagulated. But wait, totally forgot to add the bacon. So had to jump back a step or two. But it's easy because we're just literally putting it on the sandwich and rewrapping it. Normally, I'll wait an hour or two before I take it out of the fridge and eat, but you can eat it whenever and you will not be disappointed. Here's our finished product, cutting in half just because that's the way I like to savor it. We got we got some drippage. That looks great. Messy for sure. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Wow. Hope to see you again and have a great week. Take care, everyone.